Hello students, this is Professor C. Tanuja Bhatti from Jain College of Engineering, Belagavi, Department of MBA affiliated to VTU. I will be helping you prepare yourself for PGCET examinations dealing with one part of the question paper, that is Section D, Test of Quantitative Ability. This particular section covers the below aspects: arithmetic, data analysis and interpretation, statistics, related quantitative aspects. Each aspect is further subdivided into several concepts. Therefore, I will try to complete each single concept in a particular video lecture. In this video lecture, I will be covering the concepts relating to simple interest and compound interest. Now let us see what is simple interest. It may be defined as an interest that is calculated as a simple percentage of the original principal amount. That means interest is always calculated on original principal amount. Formula of simple interest is SI is equals to P into T into R divided by 100, where SI is nothing but the short form for simple interest, P stands for the original principal amount, T stands for the time period, R stands for the rate of interest divided by 100. Now once we come to know what is simple interest, and if we add this particular simple interest to the original principal amount, we will get the total future value. Future value is nothing but P plus simple interest. Moving ahead, let us understand what is compound interest. It is the interest that is received on the original amount, that is original principal, as well as on any interest that is earned but not withdrawn during the earlier periods. When interest is calculated on the total of all the previously earned interest and the original principal, it is called compound interest. The difference between simple interest and compound interest is only one, that is, in simple interest you are going to calculate interest only on the original principal amount for each year, whereas in compound interest for each year you are going to calculate the interest on the original principal, as well as the interest that you have earned or received in the preceding year. Compound interest can either be calculated annually, semi-annually, quarterly, monthly and daily. Let us see what is the formula to calculate compound interest. It is nothing but A minus P, where A stands for the future amount and P stands for the original principal amount. So when you are minusing the future amount with the present principal sum or principal amount, the difference is nothing but the compound interest that is earned. So if compound interest is calculated annually, this is the formula to calculate A, that is the future value. Because once you know the future value, based on that you can calculate the compound interest. So future value is nothing but P in the bracket 1 plus R raised to N, where A stands for the future value that you're going to receive or pay, P stands for the sum, original sum, R stands for the rate of interest, and N stands for the number of years you are planning to either keep the money invested or either you're planning to lend the money. Either you're planning to borrow the money or either you're planning to lend the money at compound interest. The number of years that you're planning to invest or borrow is nothing but N, that is the time frame. If it is semi-annually, you have to just divide R by 2 and multiply N by 2. If it is semi-annually, is nothing but half yearly. That's the reason we are dividing it by 2 and multiplying N by 2. If it's quarterly, we know that a year has 4 quarters. So you have to divide r by 4 and n into 4. The basic formula remains the same. And in case of monthly, it is r divided by 12 and n multiplied by 12, because the number of months in a year is 12. Suppose if compound interest is to be calculated daily, then you're going to divide r by 365 and multiply n by 365. Students, it is very important that we understand and remember all these formulas, because based on these formulas we can easily solve any problem on compound interest or simple interest. So now, as we are clear with the concepts, it is time to solve some previous year's questions that have appeared in the PGCET exams relating to compound interest and simple interest. Question number 1. A sum of money at simple interest amounts to rupees 815 in 3 years and rupees 854 in 4 years. So what is the sum? The sum is option A rupees 650, option B rupees 690, option C rupees 698 and option D rupees 700. So as we know that simple interest, in case of simple interest, the amount of interest will remain the same from the year 1 up to all the succeeding years. So let us see. Simple interest remains the same for all the years. Therefore, the amount of interest. So here, as we know that the sum of money in the year 4 is 854 and in the year 3 it is 815. So the difference between the sum of money at the year 4 and at the year 3 will give you the amount of interest, that is 39. Now this amount of interest will remain the same for all the years, because here it is clearly and specifically given that it is simple interest. So the final answer will be, we know that the sum of money at the year 3rd year is 815. So if we minus 39 interest for 3 years, 3 years means we have to bring 815 up to the year 0. So that is why we are minusing 39 for the year 1, 2 and 3. That is 3, 2 and 1. We get the answer as rupees 9,698. Moving ahead, so the answer is, the sum is C 698. Moving ahead, problem number 2. How much time will it take for an amount of rupees 450 to yield rupees 81 as interest at 4.5% per annum of simple interest? Option A 3.5 years, option B 4 years, option C 4.5 years and option D 5 years. Here they have told that the sum of money is 450, the interest that is earned is rupees 81 and the rate of interest is 4.5%. Therefore, by using the formula of simple interest and substituting the figures in the formula, we can easily derive at what is the time period that is taken for a sum of 450 to earn an interest of 81 rupees. So let us see the solution. SI is nothing but PTR divided by 100. So here we know that the simple interest is 81, P is 50, T is an unknown element, R is 4.5 divided by 100. So by cross multiplying 81 into 100, we get 8,100 is equal to 50 into 4.5, that is 2,025 into T. 8,100 divided by 2025, which is nothing but 4 years. The correct answer for this particular problem is option B, 4 years. Moving ahead, problem number 3. Now let us see problem number 3. The difference between compound interest and simple interest on a sum of money for 2 years is 12.5% per annum is rupees 150. So the sum is option A rupees 9,000, option B rupees 9,200, option C rupees 9,500 and option D rupees 9,600. So here they are stating in the problem that the difference between the compound interest and simple interest is 150 rupees. So what is the sum? So solution, first we try to calculate the simple interest, which is nothing but PTR divided by 100. So we don't know what is the simple interest, is equals to P is the original sum which we are supposed to calculate in this problem, into 2. 2 is the time period, number of years, into 12.5%, which is nothing but the rate of interest, divided by 100. Therefore simple interest is nothing but 0.25p. Now let us calculate compound interest. The formula for compound interest is nothing but A minus P. So what is A? A is equal to P in the bracket 1 plus R raised to N. We have to calculate P, so P is an unknown variable. In the bracket 1 plus 0.125 raised to 2. Therefore A is equal to 1.265625p. Now substituting this amount of SI which comes to 0.25p and CI which comes to 0.265625p and finding out the difference between the both, we know that it is 150 rupees. So therefore CI minus SI is equal to 150 rupees. So we have already found out CI to be 0.265625p minus 0.5p, which comes to rupees 150. So the difference between these two is 0.015625p, which is equal to 150. Therefore P is nothing but 150 divided by 0.015625. Therefore P is rupees 9,600. So therefore for this problem, the sum is rupees 9,600, that is option D. Moving ahead to the problem number 4th. A man borrowed rupees 800 at 10% per annum simple interest and immediately lent the whole sum at 10% per annum compound interest. So what does he gain at the end of 2 years? Option A rupees 6, option B rupees 8, option C rupees 10 and option D rupees 12. So here what is happening is a man is borrowing 800 at a simple interest, but he is lending 800 at compound interest. So the time period is 2 years and the rate of interest under both simple interest and compound interest is 10%. So what is the gain made by the man? That has to be calculated in this problem. So we know simple interest is nothing but PTR divided by 100. So 800 is a sum, that is P, into number of years is 2 years, into rate of interest is 10. So here simple interest comes up to rupees 160. Next is calculation of compound interest. We know compound interest formula is A minus P, and A is nothing but 800 in the bracket 1 plus 0.10 raised to 2. So A comes to rupees 968. So compound interest is nothing but A minus P. So A we have already calculated, future value, that is 968 minus 800. So CI comes to rupees 168. Now the person is borrowing at a simple interest and lending at a compound interest. So simple interest, he had to incur the simple interest expense of 160, whereas he received the compound interest of 168. So what is the gain? The gain is nothing but the difference between the compound interest earned on lending minus the simple interest incurred on borrowing. So rupees 168 minus 160, that is rupees 8 is the gain made by the man. So the option number B is the correct option answer for this particular problem. Students, by this we have completed the concept of simple interest and compound interest. Thank you.